You're listening to the Way of TBL's official podcast, Truth Talks with Sam and Alex.
Join us as we explore all things truth, beauty, and love.
Welcome back to another episode. We thank you all for tuning in today. And today's topic of conversation will be understanding your approach to personal development.
Yeah, because we can either approach personal development from a place of empowerment and wanting to elevate the life that you are currently living, or we could approach personal development from a place of disempowerment and using it as an escape mechanism.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
it really can be self-sabotage when we approach personal development as a means to escape the life that we're living, the challenging
Mhm.
circumstances that we are fronted with. And there are so many books, there are so many avenues for us to pursue personal development through that it can almost be an experience of paralysis by analysis. And we're taking
Mhm.
in all of this information all at the same time, and it really just holds us back as opposed to moving us forward. We can read book after book, we can be taught by mentor after mentor, but if it's too much information for us to process and really grasp the essence of in order to integrate it, then we're not really making any progress.
Exactly. And at the same time, if you are approaching it to escape, you're not really seeking to do those deeper levels of healing to actually heal and transcend what it is that you were experiencing. So it really, and that line could be very blurred if you are not completely intentional with what you're doing. You may not even be aware that you are trying to escape and you're thinking, well, I'm just trying to better myself and, so that I can live happier, I can do more. But a lot of the times we can trick ourselves into thinking that. And instead of really integrating and embodying what it is that you are learning, the essence of these things, you heavily rely on the practices and the doing of specific things.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
And that's it. It really comes down to what our intention for personal development is. Are we using personal development to assuage our ego, to please ourselves or satisfy ourselves in the present moment alone? Are we doing it just to get ahead with regards to our careers, our professions, to make a little more money? Are we doing it for very superficial reasons? Because frankly, most people pursue personal development just to get by, just
Hmm.
to survive a little bit better, just to
Yeah.
meet their ego's momentary needs. And all of that is important. All of that is absolutely important. However, if it doesn't go any deeper than that, we're not really becoming more conscious people. We're
Exactly.
just meeting our instant gratification needs and nothing more.
Yeah. Absolutely. I know for me, before I really dove into personal development, it definitely began with my weight loss transformation that I began back in 2018. And at that point in time, I didn't really approach it in a way to heal and educate myself. I just really wanted to lose the weight. That was the main focus for me. I want to lose the weight. I want to look better. I want the attention. You know what I mean? And although I got results pretty quick, they were not long lasting. And I've seen that over the last year and a half now that I've had other things that I've been working on and working through, and my fitness was not one of my top priorities. And because I hadn't integrated the knowledge and the awareness, or I hadn't even done really any of the healing associated with that weight gain, I so easily gained it back again. And going
Mm,
on that journey definitely put me into wanting to further develop myself. And I know that that's when I came across spirituality, right? And I remember thinking to myself, wow, if I don't know my spirit, how do I even really know myself? And it kind of clicked for me in that moment that, although I had lost heaps of weight and I was feeling a lot more confident in myself, I still didn't really know myself. And that's what really truly got me onto my personal development journey. And that's been ongoing since 2020 now. And
mm,
it's just been so interesting to see within myself all the things that I've been learning and integrating. And now, 3 years later, I'm actually going back into that weight loss journey. This time, I have a completely different approach to it, though. I'm not looking to drop the weight quickly. And I know this time, actually, it's not that I'm wanting to lose weight, it's that I'm wanting to lose fat, right? And I'm wanting to heal everything within me that has me going back to old patterns of doing things and really integrating the knowledge of this time and embodying it. Because once you are able to embody what it is that you have learned, there is nothing that is going to come that is going to have you unlearn that, right? Once you've learned
exactly.
something, you know it. And you move forward with this confidence and conviction that you can't get through just trying to get these quick fixes.
That's it. We're no longer
Yeah,
interested in quick fixes, and we're pursuing personal development in a way that really goes the distance and allows for us to see the results that we're looking for when it comes to improving
yeah,
ourselves and living more consciously. And yeah, all of this serves as a prelude to the article that we've written on this subject. And it's titled Understanding Your Approach to Personal Development with the subheading How to Empower Yourself to Flourish and Fulfill Your Potential. And that's really the difference that's made when we approach personal development with intention. We are able to really fulfill and actualize the potential that we have. We're not just staying in the same place. We don't find ourselves stuck because we are experiencing analysis paralysis. We're
yeah.
moving forward. And we address mental health here as well because when we are caught in a cycle of learning, receiving information, and bombarding our mind with more and more of it, we can have bouts of anxiety. We fail to really see and understand why we're not moving forward, why we are not experiencing the results that we're truly looking for. And that can stress us out. It can even lead to depression over time because we're learning so much and integrating so very little of what we're learning through our
Mhm.
direct experience. And the instant gratification that comes from pursuing development in this way is not truly satisfying us. It becomes more
Yeah.
than just earning a few more dollars or getting a
Mhm.
little more sex or pleasing others to some extent. We are going deeper. We're really learning how to love ourselves more in each of these aspects. It's not just about making more money, it's about how can I do so in a way that fulfills me? How can I be more creative with regards to my passions? How can I take this personal development journey even deeper? And that's what our article dives into. And it reads, personal growth is a fundamental aspect of our development as individuals that value conscious living. It prompts us to reflect on the subconscious intention behind our approach to everything we say and do, and inspires us to periodically ask ourselves questions such as, am I pursuing personal development and spiritual growth as an escape from my current reality? Or do I seek to enhance my reality and manifest the desires of my heart and soul through maturing as a person,
Hmm.
this is key.
Yeah,
We come to understand that personal growth is all about maturity. Are we
definitely.
becoming more mature in the process of personally developing ourselves?
Yeah,
That's core
because
to our
ultimately,
journey.
yeah, it is. Ultimately,
Yeah,
personal development is to mature as an individual. And the more you mature, the more self aware you become, the more conscious you become as a result of that maturity.
exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Maturity is key. And maturity is what allows for us to, as opposed to killing our ego or shedding layers of it,
Hmm.
we are transcending the ego's limitations. We're transcending the ego's limiting beliefs and perspectives in order to become more of who we truly are at our best. And all of that happens through the process of maturity. And the article continues to read, regardless of the initial reason that propelled us into our personal growth journeys, we made a conscious decision at a pivotal moment in our lives to embark on a journey of positive change. However, what you may not have fully realized is that as you grow, life also responds to you in new and unexpected ways. In this article, we will explore the connection between personal growth, the law of attraction, and how they shape the quality of your experiences and opportunities in life. And the following subheading reads, Understanding the Law of Attraction. The law of attraction operates on the principle of like attracts like. As you integrate the wisdom gained through personal growth, your vibrational frequency shifts, resulting in a corresponding change in the energy you emit. This energy then magnetizes the situations, circumstances, and opportunities that align with your personal growth journey. Naturally, then, the subconscious intention behind personal growth is crucial. When we choose to grow from a space of truth, beauty, and love, we equip ourselves with the necessary tools and wisdom to navigate through life with confidence. It allows us to view challenges as opportunities for growth and recognize that everything happens for us, not to us. And this is how we escape the victim mentality. This is how we transcend the victim mentality and we start having a mentality of empowerment. We start becoming more aware of the ways we are sabotaging ourselves and holding ourselves back. We start becoming more aware of the attachments that we may have when it comes to the way we are learning about ourselves. I know a lot of people who are in the spiritual community use their practices, their methodologies, their school of thought, be it astrology or Buddhism or Christianity or whatever their religious preference may be, they use their beliefs as crutches and they identify with their belief systems so much that they feel they have nothing without them.
Yeah. It's just like when people feel personally attacked when you start questioning that belief system. And
Yeah,
you're not intentionally trying to have them feel some kind of way. I know that's how it is with us personally. We like to inquire into why people believe a certain way and help them to reflect further on the way that they think and behave based upon their beliefs, right?
yeah,
And a lot of those times, though, people will just feel so personally attacked. And you will see this in religion as well. If anything is said against a religious person's religion, they feel personally attacked by those comments. And that's why it's so important to not be so attached to belief systems. We can have understanding of things and be able to observe things. But when you attach yourself so heavily to a belief system, then it is so hard to see everything outside of that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Again,
people
it's
definitely
because
get
your ego and
trapped.
your identity are, again, so attached to it. You feel
Mhm.
like you are that perspective. When
Exactly.
you get to the core of spirituality, you understand that you are just one expression of everything else, and everything else is interconnected with you. And so every
Mhm.
perspective adds to your understanding of reality. And that is what you associate yourself with more. You
Mhm.
become associated with the concept of absolute infinity,
Yeah.
which is everything is you, and you are everything. We are interconnected with everyone and everything else, including their perspectives and opinions. And you start to see the value in every perspective.
Yeah. And as we always mention, swapping out that fear mindset for one of growth is so very important, because then you let go of those attachments and you no longer feel personally attacked when somebody questions something that you may believe in. And you can actually use it as a tool to self inquire, to look into why it is that I have these beliefs. Maybe what they're saying has merit. Maybe I can explore. It doesn't mean that they're right, right? Things that people point out to you may not always be correct, but it gives you an opportunity to reflect and understand even more why it is that you may think and feel a certain way. And yeah,
Exactly.
it's, as we say in that section, it's seeing more and more opportunities around you to further grow, as opposed to just like closing yourself off, which is what so many people do. So many people close themselves off from digging deep and understanding these things.
Yeah. And when this happens for you, you'll start to see that as opposed to having rigid, static beliefs, you have fluid observations. That's the one thing that we can say is incredibly accurate. We observe something to be true. We have observations as opposed to beliefs. And there's the concept of the observer in spirituality and metaphysics. You are observing everything beyond just your physical self. This observer is able to witness everything as it's happening
Mhm.
dispassionately, indifferently. And that's living from that place allows for you to learn so much. You come to observe something is true for you. And those observations are constantly in a process of evolution. When you observe that something is incomplete in terms of its understanding, you seek to add to it to make it more complete. It's beyond right and wrong. It's about how can this understanding be more complete? How can it be more true? How can our perception be clearer? And we do that through observing, through our observation of things. Now, I
Yeah.
let go of saying that I believe in this or that way, or this is my belief. And
Hmm.
I catch myself saying, it's been my observation in my experience that this is that way or this is that way. And
Hmm.
that's much more honest because all we have is our observation. All we have is our perspective. and we're not
Exactly.
attached to it, we can easily be very fluid with regards to our observations.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
How can our
even
perception be
begin,
even clearer?
yeah, you even begin observing yourself and the way
Exactly.
you go about things yourself. And it's not that you question everything, but you inquire into the way you go about things yourself, even
Yeah.
without needing somebody else to point something out to you. And that's just been one of the most incredible things that we have come to see for ourselves, and being able to observe ourselves and the way we may react to certain things or respond to certain things, the way that we may be a little bit triggered, and we observe that within ourselves straight away. And that's such an incredible thing to be able to do, and to be, because when you begin observing your own patterns, you can start moving past them or healing certain things so much faster.
Oh, yeah. It's extremely powerful.
Yeah.
That's literally what awareness is. It's pure
Hmm.
observation. And
Yeah.
when we become more self aware, we are observing more indifferently.
Hmm.
And you will leapfrog, you will leapfrog past so many traps in your ego when you allow for yourself to simply observe more with fresh eyes. And to add to your previous comment, it's not that we don't question everything, because we do, but we don't do so from
Yeah.
a place of cynicism. We're not
Right.
cynical.
Exactly.
We have healthy skepticism about everything, even
Hmm.
ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that just allows us for
Hmm.
us to grow and heal leaps and bounds on our journey. And the article, for example, let's say you have been practicing gratitude as part of your personal growth journey. By consistently acknowledging and appreciating the positive aspects of your life, you cultivate a growth mindset. As a result, you start attracting more moments of gratitude, such as meaningful connections with others, unexpected acts of kindness, or opportunities that align with your values and aspirations. And the next subheading reads, Escaping versus Embracing Reality. If your intention for personal growth stems from a subconscious desire to escape your current reality, it is important to realize that this stems from a place of fear, avoidance, and despair. And this is a core element that has us sabotaging ourselves on our path of personal development, isn't it, Samantha?
Yeah. Definitely.
What are we afraid of? That's really what keeps us tied to the perspectives that we have and the opinions that we have about life. It's really because we're afraid of something within ourselves that keeps us from really seeing things for what they are and seeing the opportunities that are right in front of us.
Absolutely.
And it continues to read, while some growth may occur, it merely acts as a temporary bandage rather than true healing. Eventually, the dissatisfaction you experience in your life is likely to resurface in one way or another. Pursuing personal development does not guarantee a life free from struggle, challenge, or dilemmas. And before I continue reading, yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
really it. We don't want an easy life. We want a fulfilling life, and we want to have the strength to be able to be grounded and present when we face challenges,
Yeah.
as opposed to
Because
running
there's
from
no,
problems. We face them head on
mhm,
with courage and confidence.
yeah. Because there's no such thing as never facing another challenge or struggle in your life. That's really unrealistic thinking. We want to be able to, like you said, be grounded, be able to Again, see challenges as opportunities for growth, right? When we can see challenges in that way, if anything, you are happy to experience that challenge because you know what that means. You know that by having challenges come to me, by facing these challenges, I am going to further grow within myself in one way or another, depending on what the challenge is. But that is how we do build that inner strength. And we continue to cultivate that trust within ourselves, the trust, the confidence, the self-esteem, all of that comes from being able to approach things in a way that is truthful to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's more than just tricking yourself into thinking
Yeah.
that making more money will make you happier, that having more sex will make you happier. It's approaching these things from a much deeper place. You can't fear that if you stop learning from this self help guru or this pickup industry or your mentor, that you won't ever be able to experience the love that you're really looking for. No, that's a
Yeah.
fear that you have. It is a fundamental lack of trust, like Samantha just mentioned, that is holding you
Mhm.
back from experiencing the journey of true love and genuine romance for yourself, really defining what your values are when it comes to interacting and engaging with the opposite sex. That's really
Yeah.
what you ultimately fear taking a good look at, because you're shining a light on yourself. You're looking at yourself in the mirror a bit more closely. Your mentor
Mhm.
will only tell you things that you want to hear, because most mentors cater to your ego in that sense,
Yeah.
in the personal development and even pickup industry. Again, that's an aspect of self help, which is communicating
Yeah.
better with the opposite sex for men and women alike. You have to be able
Yeah.
to be sincere and intellectually honest enough with yourself to take a good look at what your values are and how you're living up to them in order to experience the love that you're looking for, which
Mhm.
ultimately lies within yourself. And that's what you have to find. No one can give that to you. And yet, at the same time, no one can take that away from you. And that's where the
Exactly.
true value of personal development is found.
It's in also taking accountability for yourself
Yeah.
and not being so heavily reliant on these leaders. You know, you can take
Or any
guidance.
external authority.
Yeah. Yeah. We look at them to take guidance. But when you so heavily rely on their influence and the things that they have to say, you are just giving them authority and you are not taking accountability for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can they solve my problems? How can this book or this school or this course solve my problems?
Hmm.
When it's ultimately you that needs to solve your problems.
Yeah.
And that journey is unique to everyone. We help each other by providing clarity, support,
Mhm.
encouragement on the journey, but ultimately, it's a journey that is all our own
Oh, yeah.
and that allows for us to be supremely empowered. We become truly sovereign when we realize that,
Hmm.
and we stop
Yeah.
passing the buck, so to speak, to someone else.
Right. It doesn't matter how much money you pay for a course. You could pay $5 or you could go into a $3,000 course unless you yourself are really truly willing to do that internal work. it isn't going to do anything for you. It
How
might
bad
give
do
you
you want it?
little glimpses of things,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
How much do you want it?
But you
How
won't.
much do you really want
Yeah.
to transform your life? And no
Hmm.
one can do that for you. No amount of sweet talking in your ear will do that for you. And that's the bullet that you've got to bite and swallow. And as bittersweet as it may taste, it's the most worthwhile experience that you can have on your personal development journey. And that's the core of it, is understanding
Yeah.
that aspect of it right there. And the article continues to read: unrealistic expectations of such a life can lead to disappointment and lack of personal accountability. Exactly. Instead,
Yep.
personal growth equips us to handle adversity with the right tools, courage, strength, and conviction. It empowers us to seek the best possible outcomes for ourselves and those around us when faced with difficult situations. For instance, imagine you've been struggling with self doubt and negative self talk. Through personal growth, you develop self awareness and recognize that these thoughts stem from deep seated limiting beliefs. Instead of escaping from reality, you embrace it and commit to working on your self esteem. With time, self compassion, and self affirmation practices, you start to transform your inner dialogue, replacing self doubt with self belief. As a result, you navigate challenges with increased optimism and resilience, pursuing your goals with unwavering determination. And this is the key to self motivation. All
Hmm.
motivation is self derived. To be honest, a lot of people go to seminars and motivational talks to hear more of what they want to hear,
Yeah.
hyping themselves up without actually learning much of anything. And so they stay
But what
stuck.
gets them there? But
Exactly.
what gets them there in the first place, right?
Yeah, what gets them there in the first place? It's that motivation to become better. But if it stops at just wanting to feel good, again,
Yeah.
because true working on yourself, true personal development will not always feel good. And
Mm-mm.
so when you're approaching personal development as a way to feel good about yourself, again, that's where the traps of our ego come into play. When it comes
Yeah.
to getting more women or getting more attention from men, you know, if we're developing ourselves only to get validation and more attention from other people, then we're just approaching personal development to feel better about ourselves in the moment, full
Mhm.
stop. It doesn't go any further than that. And that's why there's
Yeah.
this void, there's this hole within us that we constantly feel throughout the day. And it constantly needs to be poured into.
Exactly. And things like seminars or group coaching or uh, just different group. We have a lot of people that do these what do you call them? Like these circles, right? Those group
Drum
circles, whether
circles.
it be like
Yeah.
drum circles or yeah,
Oh
whatever it
man,
is,
that's
right? There's a
huge.
lot of
Again,
different
a lot of that is, you know,
personal, yeah,
spiritualist community stuff. But yeah,
yeah. But what it does is it gives you that instant gratification for the moment. But how long does it last, right?
exactly.
Do people get together every week, maybe, for these drum circles or twice a week? Because those effects last, I can't remember. I saw a study once. I think it says like 2 to 3 days or something before something like that is necessary again to keep that person feeling that way, right? Feeling motivated, feeling encouraged. The thing is, personal development does not really have an end destination. It's
Yeah,
ultimately something that you will continue to do for the rest of your life. This is a difference. It is definitely a journey. There is no destination with there are goals that you may have in place, right? And you can maybe typically look at those as destinations, but then there are layers. You get to layer one and then you keep going down to deeper and deeper layers. And that's how you ultimately get onto the path to self actualization is through continuing to pursue personal development. And that's the
Yeah,
thing. When you are able to self motivate yourself and you understand that, you know that you are definitely not in a rush. There is no rush to get anywhere. And you embrace it and enjoy the journey. And that is how
exactly.
you truly integrate, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the drum circle example we brought up is a classic textbook example of how a lot of people see personal development as a drug
Mm. Oh,
to
yeah.
boost their dopamine levels, as opposed to a journey of integrating wisdom and self awareness. We met a character, he was quite the character. He held these drum circles regularly, and it's the core of his business is to
Yeah.
host these drum circles. And when you're incorporating your spiritual practice with your financial gain, that can be a
Yeah.
huge ego trap for you.
Oh,
If
yeah.
that is your livelihood, you are going to be very attached to your modality or your
Hmm.
perspective on spirituality. And you're going to want to impose that on others because that's how your
Yeah.
business is going to thrive, right?
Exactly.
And he would tell us, oh, at these drum circles, everybody's dancing and everybody's hugging each other and loving on each other. And, it's a spiritual experience. And
Again, he was also talking about how
yeah,
men and women trying to come into their sexual power and how these men were doing this masculine kind of like dance or whatever and just being loud and roaring and how there were a lot of women that some were very much kept to themselves, didn't really know, I guess, how to respond in a situation like that. And then how other women felt very liberated and were dancing sensually. And the whole time he's explaining all of this, I'm like, dude, that's sounds like the energy of an orgy. I'm sorry, but that is exactly what the essence of that energy is. If you
an
want true
energetic orgy.
sexual healing, yeah,
Yeah.
it isn't going to happen through men beating on a drum and roaring like lions and women just dancing sensually with a group of people.
I mean, that just sounds like a
It
club, to be
does,
honest, like, there's no
exactly.
difference between these drum circles and a nightclub,
Yeah,
frankly. Like, a
exactly.
Selena concert is a spiritual experience. A Barry
Yeah.
White or Prince concert would have been spiritual
Uh,
experiences. And it's
mhm,
great, they're great for the moment. They serve as a tuning
mhm.
fork even for tapping into
Yeah.
our spirit. But if we don't take the essence of what these experiences show us
Mhm.
into our everyday lives, there's only so much value from going to these concerts. They
Exactly.
introduce to you how you should be feeling every moment of your life when you live
That's right.
truthfully. The roaring like lions and beating on drums, all of that just sounds like suppression, finding
Mhm.
an escape from living a bullshit lifestyle,
Yeah, exactly.
from being a people pleasing person in a world full of inauthenticity. That's what that sounds like to me. You're not
Yeah.
really learning anything new from these drone circles. You're not really integrating anything new to become wiser, to become more grounded, to become more present
Mhm.
when moving through the world. You're not really empowering yourself. These events are like dopamine inducing drugs. And so that's why you
Yeah,
need more and more drum circles. You need more and more events to go to like this
exactly.
to fill yourself.
Mhm.
You're not taking anything from those experiences with you into the world to inspire other people around you're not
You're just
truly
heavily
learning anything.
reliant on getting your next hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or going to the next
Hmm.
concert. When's the next
Yeah.
Sade concert? When's the next Beyonce concert? There's
Mm.
absolutely no difference between all of these events and these kind of spiritualist drum circles. They
Yeah.
provide only
Exactly.
so much value. They
Mm.
provide a peek into how you're supposed to feel every moment of the day. And you can embody more of that feeling when you take real accountability for yourself and how you deal with your everyday life, with your situation, your circumstances. That's the difference between viewing personal development as an escape mechanism and viewing it as a real source of sovereignty,
Hmm.
empowerment, and groundedness as an individual. That's ultimately what we want because that's what's going to really deliver us the results we're looking for in our life.
Hmm. Absolutely. And it's not to say that these drum circles don't serve a purpose as
Absolutely.
well,
That's for any meditative
but
or spiritual practice,
yes,
They
they're
all
meant
have
to
value.
be. Mhm. They're meant to be seen as an experience, however, right? Rather than this ongoing practice that
Yeah, that
you
you stay
can,
stuck in until you're 50, 60, still doing drum circles, and you
yeah.
don't have a truly fulfilling love life, and you're not
Hmm.
really abundant, in every
Yeah.
aspect of your life at 50, 60, and you're still stuck doing these drum circle events. Like, again, they are known by their fruits. By their fruits
Hmm.
you will know them, as Christ says in the Bible.
Yeah.
What are the results at the end of the day?
Yeah.
That's the
That's right.
real value of a mentor or a teacher.
Hmm.
What are their results in their personal life?
Exactly. That's right.
And when you take
As simple as
Yeah,
that.
exactly. It really comes
Yeah.
down to that, what are their practices, their way of life really doing for them?
Hmm.
How
Yeah.
long have they been doing the work the way that they've been doing it, and what kind of results have they really derived from it other than making themselves feel good and making other people feel good, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's
And
much more to life than that.
absolutely. And are they coming from I love that this point come up it came up in my mind because this is something I've wanted to share for a little while now.
I love it.
Are they coming from a space of truly being integrated with this knowledge and having embodied it, or are they projecting what they actually need,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And
huge.
the way we can,
Very
yeah, the
good
way we
point,
can
Samantha.
tell the difference, yeah, thank you. The way we can tell the difference is when somebody is projecting, it is about them. It will come from a first person point of view. Again, it's different when you're giving an experience, yeah, an experience, an example of something. But when you are teaching and you are teaching from that first person view of I, that is projection. Because somebody who has truly integrated and embodied the knowledge has come full circle with that knowledge and will speak to you from a third person perspective.
Mm,
Yeah, it's a big difference. And you can see that. And then again, if you inquire into their results, you will see that to be true. Typically, a lot of the times, people that are trying to teach on sexual empowerment and, sexual growth actually lack in their sexual life. There is still a lot of healing that needs to be done in their own personal life. And
yeah.
yeah, I've
And so
seen
their
that
teaching
with a
only goes
lot
so
of
far.
different, yeah, exactly.
They are not really able to get the message across that they want because they
Hmm.
haven't integrated the wisdom for themselves.
Yeah. So that's why, you really want to take accountability for your own personal development. You can have a mentor, but you don't want to be so heavily reliant on that mentor that you can't do things without them. you know?
Exactly.
Do the courses, read the books, but take accountability for yourself. It's pretty
Exactly.
simple, actually. Yeah.
That's it. It's extremely simple.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's not easy to come to these conclusions.
No.
It requires a lot of effort and a lot of self inquiry and self reflection and
Hmm.
a lot of intellectual honesty with yourself. But when you come
Hmm.
full circle and you come to understand these things for yourself, it is really simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Us humans, we just completely overcomplicate things by way overthinking,
Yeah.
and what we've come to observe again is that anything that is true, anything that is real, anything that is fulfilling and substantial will actually come very simple. Like it will come to you so easy, and then you know it's
Almost
right.
effortlessly,
Yeah, exactly. That's
seemingly
why a lot of the
effortlessly.
times,
Yeah.
yeah, people would just be trying so hard to accomplish something, maybe within a business, maybe it's a new project that they're working on, and they will hit wall after wall, problem after problem. And then they realize, you know what? It's not even what I'm really passionate about. Why am I actually working so hard on this? And everything is going wrong. And when they
Yeah.
really fine tune what it is that they want and they see it clearly, it just happens to manifest in their reality. And it's like, oh my God, this is the thing that I've been seeking for. And look how easy it came to me, but you just, it's what, how you're approaching things. What is it that you want? And are you coming from a space of truth, beauty, and love or not?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Understanding
Hmm.
our approach to personal development is understanding our approach to everything because we're
Yeah,
always developing
definitely.
ourselves. We're always growing. We're always evolving as
Hmm.
individuals.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It doesn't end. You shouldn't want it to end.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
that's life in essence.
it is.
As long as
It
we
is.
keep going, we keep living.
Hmm.
And with that, the article continues with the subheading, The Transformative Power of Personal Growth. Personal growth is a transformative journey that goes beyond superficial change. It involves deep introspection, self discovery, and the cultivation of positive habits and mindset. Through personal growth, we develop resilience, emotional intelligence, self confidence, and a growth mindset. These qualities enable us to embrace change, adapt to new circumstances, and overcome obstacles with grace and determination. As we continue to grow, we manifest our true potential and create a life that aligns with our authentic selves. Tripped over my tongue there.
You're right.
Personal development is not a quick fix or a one size fits all solution. It is a continuous and intentional journey of self discovery, learning, and growth. By consciously aligning our subconscious intentions with truth, beauty, and love, we empower ourselves to flourish and fulfill our potential. Embracing personal growth allows us to vibrate at a higher frequency, attracting opportunities and experiences that reflect our inner transformation. So let personal development be a catalyst for positive change in your life, opening doors to new possibilities and a more fulfilling existence. And that's what you got to ask yourself at the end of the
Hmm.
day. Is the way that I'm going about improving myself reflecting that in the world, in my life? Are the
Yeah.
results that I'm attracting, that I'm making manifest, a result of the work that I'm doing internally?
Hmm.
If not, we need to take a step back and take stock of how we're doing things. We've got to set aside the time and the space to be able to reflect on all of that instead of just going through the routine, instead of just going through the motions of our daily life just to get to the next drum circle. or
Mm-hmm.
our next meditation session as an escape from reality, confusing that with true personal growth and development,
Mm-hmm.
because the latter is what will bring us what we're looking for.
Exactly. And you want to become your most authentic self. That is what will give you true peace and fulfillment in life. And you will be such a content person. And like we say at the beginning, with the law of attraction, like attracts like. And so that you begin to, that energy that begins to pour out of you as a result of that personal development is just going to be evident in everything that is around you. It just is. I remember before I moved into this home, a little over a year ago now, I had no idea where I would move. The last house I was in, my landlord wanted to sell the home, and I had to find a new house to move into. And it was the first time moving into a home where only my name would be on the lease, because up until the previous house, I was still co living with my ex. And so, being a single mother to two children, only being fresh into business. So I didn't have, you know, a backlog of history showing income from work. It was quite difficult to find a home. And I remember seeing so many houses, and I believe at the same time there was so many people looking for homes. I don't know what happened last year, but the real estate was going crazy. And I saw so many homes that I loved, and yet I wasn't approved for. And I just remembered that no, Sam, keep faith that something better is coming, because I knew that the work I had done internally is going to begin making itself manifest in my external world as well. And so I knew that I wasn't just going to go into a home that I didn't love, into a home that I wasn't excited to move into. And as hard as it was, I had 8 weeks to move, and I didn't find a house for 6 weeks. It was getting pretty close to that time to move, and I started freaking out a little bit. But Alexander, you help keep me grounded and remember that truth, that have faith that something better is coming. And surely enough, the last house that I saw, the one that I am in now, was my most favorite house of all the houses that I had seen. I have no neighbors across the road. I live on a beautiful, quiet street. There is walking paths, and there is a creek, and there is parks all around, and it is gorgeous. This home is so amazing. And I given into that doubt and that fear of, oh my God, we're going to be homeless, I don't know where we would have ended up. I don't even like contemplate that reality, because it's not a reality. But what would have happened had I, caved into that fear? I had my mum saying, "Oh, Sam, well, why don't you put your stuff into storage and you can come and live in the caravan until you find a place?" And I'm just like, no way. I am not doing that. I refuse to live that way, because it is not the way that I want to live. And I'm going to keep faith and know that what it is that I want is coming. And it did. It was a quick move, but it happened. And it all happened so perfectly. But I didn't give up on knowing what it was that I truly wanted. And this home just has everything that I could have asked for and more. And so that's the thing.
And
It's just, yeah. Hmm.
continue.
Go on. No, just don't give up on what you truly want, because there may be limiting beliefs telling you that you can't have that. Or you may have people around you that further enforce those doubts, right? It's being very cautious of all the little whispers that are coming to you from all around, and being able to block off a lot of that noise when you need to, and just go within to find your voice. your true voice because it's there. You just got to find it. Yeah, that's all. What were you going to say, my love?
That, ladies and gentlemen, is a masterclass in your personal development paying off when your approach
Hmm.
to it is genuine, when you make the sincere effort to up level your subconscious mind, you start reorienting your spirit to focus on all the ways life can and will work out for you.
Hmm.
When Samantha remembered that fundamental trust in herself and her ability to manifest the reality that she is truly worthy of, it appeared before her eyes effortlessly.
Yeah.
Most people resort to panic and fear and scam others, do others
Hmm.
harm to ensure their survival. When your subconscious mind is oriented in the direction of your spirit at its highest, the impossible unfolds for you as a result. The unexplainable occurs
Hmm.
for you before your very eyes. And that is a universal truth and observation that will never fail.
Yeah.
Things just work out for you. Shit just works out for you. And you can't
Hmm.
explain it to anybody. That is something that is personal to you, but it is your relationship with the universe, the
Hmm.
frequencies that is always emitting, and the way you communicate with it, the way that you move through life will allow for these kinds of circumstances to happen for you. And that is why understanding our approach to personal development is so important because it can literally transform your life as it should. That should be
Hmm.
the end result. And we continue to see that manifest for us in ways like this.
Yeah.
Such incredible things take place. And it ultimately comes down to how genuine we are as people. And before I introduce the topic of conversation for our next episode, if you'd like to read the FAQs and really take in the article another time, feel free to read our article and other articles similar to this one that we've read today on our Medium profile. We've got plenty of articles for you to enjoy reading at your leisure. And like I was saying, all of this comes down to how genuine we are as individuals. And that's why the topic of conversation for our next episode will be navigating the world of unintentional disingenuity, a deep dive into the psychology of sincerity and authenticity. Are we as genuine as we think we are? And this is good for self reflection, self inquiry, self discovery, as well as really understanding the roadmap for human interaction that we have at our disposal to engage with other people
Hmm.
in a meaningful way, to really weed out the wheat from the chaff, to see who's genuine and who isn't. And that's really powerful. We're going to save ourselves a lot of time, a lot of energy, and we'll invite others, inspire others to be more genuine themselves, to let go of the fears that they hold on to that keep them from being as genuine as they could be, to keep them from being two faced and do things in a way that's not 100%. Because we see that all the time, even with our close friends at times. You know, they fear to truly be themselves with us because we bring that out in them, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
we're going to dive into and more in our next episode.
We appreciate you joining us. And until next time,
May you embody the way of TBL today in your own way.